All right, you guys, welcome back. This week, little quick, not a gear review, but a little question and answer thing. So it's middle of winter. We're out in the big blizzard. We just got 14 to 15 inches of snow. We have our hot tent out here, and we're using it as a living room this week, not sleeping in it because we brought our teardrop. I get tons of questions on what is hot tenting. It's not new. It's real popular in Canada and among hunters. It's basically, this is the tent. And it's like any other tent. Some of them are, this is a poly cotton, some of them are canvas, most are canvas. There's also just regular tent material. And they have a stove jack in them with a heated or a fire retardant square, and the pipe goes up through it. And it's a wooden stove that goes inside. You feed it wood, it burns, the smoke goes up the pipe, it heats up the tent. We've had this thing up to 90 degrees and it's been 0 degrees outside. There are multiple places to vent. You should also get a little portable carbon monoxide monitor just for, safety when you're sleeping in there. But it keeps it really warm in the winter. It's a great solution for winter camping. Most tents of the hot tents that are made for hot tenting have a skirt, and you stack snow around to kind of insulate basically. And there is a frost line. I'll show you the stove in just a second. So at the stove level and below, there's a frost line on the outer edge of the tent, and it will be colder in the tent at that level. We sleep on the ground on mats. Some people sleep on cots. Cots would probably be a little warmer because you're a little higher, and you should not rely on the stove for survival. You should have proper gear rated sleeping bags, temperature rated blankets, layers of clothing, because one thing with hot tenting, you do have to feed it wood depending on the size of your stove every half hour, every hour, every 2 hours. Right before bed, we get compressed sawdust blocks. They're super cheap. You can get them at the hardware store usually. We put one of those in before bed and it burns slower, usually a couple hours out of it. And then most nights the flame just goes out and we don't keep feeding it. Because if you keep feeding it, you're not going to really sleep well. There's also damping controls, so you can control the burn, slow it down, speed it up, whatever you want. It's not too expensive. Some of the stoves can be high, but it's basically like a wood stove that you'd have in a house or a cabin, just a smaller size. As it heats up, the heat rises obviously, so it's warmer at the top. Another great benefit of it is you can cook on your hot stove, so you don't have to bring extra cooking things. That's what's awesome. It provides heat. It provides enough heat to cook everything. We boil water, we cook full meals on it. One thing with this design, these poles have the cord in them and they fold out. It can get frozen and cold, so we have to have a way to heat these up. Most people who hot tent have the Snow Trekker or the bigger, this is a Nortent brand, we really like it. Pomali is another brand. There's Snow Trekker, they're the big square ones. They almost look like a full house. Big canvas, they're real big, and a lot of people use those for hunting camp and they'll be out for a whole week. So they're great, an affordable way to be out in the winter and still have it's a nice dry heat. Sleeping in there, the ambiance when you're going to sleep, the wood stove's crackling and popping, the flame, it's so peaceful to sleep to, and we just love it. It's our preferred method of winter camping. When we bring our teardrop, we use it as our living room and just hang out, eat, cook, when we're not sleeping in the teardrop. They make stoves that are titanium and can fold up, and they're more portable, so you can actually backpack. There are people that sled and backpack in hot tent. Ours is pretty heavy, so we could do it on a sled, but not a backpack solution. There's smaller tents. We have a smaller one, a green teepee style. That's the most common for entry level into hot tenting. I'll put a picture of it. That's how we started hot tenting in that one. We've also upgraded our stove to a bigger one. But there's not much to it. It's not anything complicated other than you cannot buy wood if you go to a store and just buy firewood, you can't use that wood. Most stoves are not that long, so you've got to process your own wood, and you need chunks about this big. I'll show you in just a second the size of wood you need to process to put in there and feed. You want smaller ones to just keep feeding it. The sawdust blocks are really great for a longer burn, and they get really hot. It is advisable after each night to take down the chimney pipe and just knock off the soot that can collect up there, because it'll start backflowing and it won't burn as good, and you don't want that. But I just wanted to give a quick rundown of what hot tenting is. It's very popular. There's tons of people on YouTube doing it. That's how we learned to do it. I really haven't seen a lot of how to or what is hot tenting videos, so I wanted to make this one for you guys because we get tons of questions about it. You can actually adapt any tent, a summer tent, into a hot tent. They sell a square stove jack that you can get someone to sew in on a regular tent, and then that can be your hot tent. It can be a 4-season tent. I would say the hot tenting, you do want to get the biggest tent you can afford and feel like you can put up, because when you start putting gear in there, you know, the tents will say it sleeps 4. Well, that's going to be tight. If you really want more than it says, like for 2 people, this says sleeps 4 to 6. We could do it, but when you're in here eating, lounging, and just hanging out with all your gear and your bedding, it's much better to have bigger than you need. So hit that subscribe, join us on our hot tent adventures and all our winter camping adventures. We love winter camping. It's just amazing out here. It's peaceful. This was a crazy blizzard, 15 inches of snow, but we made it. The stoves do pack down pretty quick and cool off quickly. So thanks for joining us. If you have any questions about hot tenting, reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. I'll put a link below on this tent. This is Nortent. We love it. Check out our whole video. Our winter playlist has our hot tent stuff in it.